All right. Alrighty then. Welcome to Weebkend, your new favorite anime podcast. We're three weebs that we just figured we would share that with the world.
Wait, you're a weeb?
So I am Sam, the hipster weeb of the group, joined by Angie.
I'm Angie. I'm the Fujoshi trash of the group.
And Caesar, the elder weeb.
I'm Caesar. I'm a golden age weeb.
Resident degenerate, too.
Very much a degenerate.
So I kind of figured that the best way to start this thing off would be to kind of give our top 5 favorite anime, to kind of give anyone who might be dumb enough to listen to this an idea of like our taste and things we like. So you have a better idea of like who's talking about what and like where we're coming from. So I have this D6 right here, dice, whatever. If it's 1 or 2, Angie. 3 or 4, Caesar, because you're in the middle. And 5 or 6, me.
Technically, one dice is called a die.
Yeah, I was saying
a die. Thank you for correcting me.
Actually.
All right. 3, Caesar, you're up.
All right. So.
Oh, and before we start, Angie and I have also like made guesses as what we think Caesar's top 5 would be. And we're going to see how well we know each other's tastes. The rules are only series, no movies. We'll do that some other time. And no meme choices or hentai. We'll get to that. No. That doesn't mean Caesar won't pick Boku no Pico, but whatever. All right, go for it.
Do you want to make your guesses first, or do you want me to just say my
I think it would be better if you like said one, and then we could both say if we had that in our guesses. So just go one at a time.
So, as odd as it's going to sound, one of my favorite anime, at least in my top 5, is actually Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
Really?
I did not put that.
No. It's like, I figured if you were going to pick a mecha anime, it was going to be Code Geass, which you probably will get to later. But so what do you like about Gurren Lagann? Is it Yoko Littner's tits?
It's not Yoko Littner's tits because she's like 14. So
is she really? What the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? My life is a lie.
I thought she was like 16 or
something. I thought she was like
14.
I thought like Simone and
12.
I thought Kamina and like Yoko were like almost adults, like 18, 19. My life is a lie. I haven't seen that show in like 10 years. Well,
so
overdeveloped anime girls, everyone.
That's
I like Gurren Lagann. One, the animation style back then, circa what, 2010?
I think it came
amazing.
Was it 2010 or I don't know. I fucking remember.
It was about high school for me. So about 2010.
Old man sees.
And that's going to reflect a lot of my taste for my top 5.
I mean, it's a solid show. I mean, I like it a lot. Like, you know, it's like hype the show. It's like still one of those. But like, I mean, it sort of birthed Studio Trigger, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, it's a Gainax production, but Gainax fucked their animators over so badly that they decided to start Trigger. So, thanks for that.
Not uncommon in a lot of these animation houses, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like, it happened with Madhouse, too. Like, that birthed Mappa, and Shaft birthed David Productions. It's just, like, kind of the way. And I feel like it's going to happen with Mappa again, because they're running everybody into the ground to give us Chainsaw Man, Spy Family, and everything else all at the same time.
Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Oh, did you get to get a chance to watch it yet?
I have not. Caesar just mentioned it to me and the hubby and was like, hey, you guys need to watch this.
Yeah, as of now, the first 3 episodes just aired. For some reason, only the Japanese and not any of the other languages are out on Hulu. And I think it's weird for like a Western production. Like, I kind of want to hear like Western voices because it doesn't match. Like, Harley's weird like New York accent does not translate well to Japanese.
I was saying, I know when there was a lot of cases, and this is the old days whenever there was, different accent. I know regional wise, a lot of the times they used like Kansai Ben. Like,
Yeah.
those Osaka based characters, they would just give them like a New York accent or a Southern accent.
I think for Harley, like they did a mix of like Tokyo slang and like just sort of trying to sound like English. Yeah.
But
that makes sense.
yeah.
But it was pretty good so far. Like, I mean, I'm gonna keep watching it.
Just like Kimiko Toga, but like ramped up.
Yeah, basically. Something I saw in the comments when I was looking around at it. So the voice actress for Harley was born in 2004. I know, right?
Listen, we're starting a podcast because we're like in our 30s and we have nothing to do. But
like most people.
Hey, I am not in my 30s yet for another year and a half.
Close to it. But yeah, no, I definitely am going to check it out. Fortunately, my husband speaks freedom and he does not like the subs. He's more of a dub type guy.
I'm sure Hulu will find a way to unfuck it up in like 4 weeks.
Yeah. So.
But Gurren Lagann, solid first pick. I really need to rewatch it. I think it might be on Netflix right now.
It's actually on Hulu with the dub. Everyone else is just sub.
Okay, then I definitely need to like put that shit on like in the background while I'm not working.
I mean, Gurren Lagann has probably one of the craziest final episodes in terms of final battle.
Yeah, throw galaxies at each other. Shit's fucking great.
It also was like the first occurrence that I ran into when watching anime where they hyped it up using the intro theme for the final battle.
Yeah.
I can recall. Which always just sticks out of my head.
I also loved the like eye catches and like in between animations. Caesar, how could you? This is a podcast. This is holy and sacred.
I was say, didn't you just earlier talk about Yoko being, hot piece of anime ass and she's underage?
I mean, she's classic waifu though. Like one of the first big ones, I feel like. Like
yeah, I get him.
I mean, like it started with like the Evangelion girls, and then like really just kind of became a thing in the 2000s. I know, like what is their obsession over there with like aging them up? Like
their age of consent is way lower in Japan than it is here in America.
Although that is regional, at least. Yeah.
I feel like they fixed that recently. I remember hearing about it because a bunch of weebs were like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah, but it's like, well, take like Rias Gremory from High School DD, which I also think Caesar might have put on his list. But it's like you look at the character and you're like, all right, she should be like 18, 19, right?
Yeah.
And no, just they're like, she's 14.
Yeah, because they're.
But don't think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we spent, I think, a whole convention weekend watching
all 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Man.
3 seasons.
Yeah, I think it was 3 seasons at that time.
I don't know. A lot of people like that's their number one like ecchi anime. Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I remember there's season 4. Are they still going with it? Like,
I think so.
I think it's going to be kind of muted though compared to compared to like season 1.
Well, I feel like ecchi anime in general just isn't as popular anymore.
But yeah, I mean,
I feel like there was like a boom around like 2010.
Yeah,
everything around 2010. That was the golden age. Well, no, like 2000s was the golden age of anime.
I guess
you
so.
Had the big 3.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I love a lot of anime that's coming out right now, though. But it's just like it's so weird because it's like so popular among normies, just like everyone. But like, I don't care. But it's just kind of strange.
I care. I'm a gatekeeper. Fuck those normies. Make anime weird again.
Yeah, I do like my weird shit too. It's like, when I was on vacation a couple weeks ago, like we went into an anime store because we found one in Paris, and it was like, hell yeah, they got some cool shit here. And it was like, and then we go downstairs and there's like a bunch of figures, and I was like, oh, cool. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to like ship this back. That would be like ridiculously expensive. But then there was like an entire fucking wall of Demon Slayer shit. And I was just like, ugh, I'm so sick of it.
I think, I guess For me, it's like some of the choices that I have are nostalgia feeling, but nowadays with anime being a little more popular, and of course there's a heightened morality. Not necessarily a bad thing, but some things that I liked back in the day would now be deemed problematic in the eyes of like the younger
Definitely,
audience.
yeah.
So, forewarning for any of the things that I like, I'll just don't touch me.
Yeah.
Don't hurt.
No, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Caesar will probably say more problematic shit than anyone else on this podcast, maybe.
Facts.
No, I say, we'll see.
It'll happen. I may or may not edit it out. We'll see. Oh, but okay, so Caesar, back on track. Number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah. So Gurren Lagann and now number 2.
And again, these aren't in order.
No,
If
they don't
were
need
in
to
order, then the list would be different.
Yeah.
So, unsurprisingly, as a Golden Age weeb, Bleach is actually in.
Oh, I had it.
See?
Yeah, I knew it. See, it's like, well, okay, why do you love Bleach?
So, Bleach at the time was just the anime that wasn't One Piece, which I didn't like back then in the Golden Age of anime.
Oh, how the turntables.
And it wasn't Naruto, which I also love. But when it comes to Bleach, it was way more gory. The story was way more mature-centered. And overall, it was just a good story, despite all the filler. All the filler.
See, that's what
All the filler.
that's what I always heard about, like, when I first started, like, getting into anime. I'm like, oh, should I watch this? And it's, like, all the filler shit, and it's, like, crap after the Soul Society arc.
Yeah.
Well, that's not... Well, it's Season 1, Soul Society, which is probably the best out of the entire anime, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Upcoming...
So it only goes downhill after Season 1.
Especially the bounce arc. Season 3 is... God, terrible.
Yeah, I
So, and how many episodes is it?
Bleach?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Way more than this should be because of all the filler.
Oh, right. Is it one, like, One Piece where you can, like, easily skip the filler?
Yeah, so the fillers in Bleach are mostly entire arcs that are just filler.
Oh, okay, so kind of like Naruto?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can completely skip over the bounce arc and it doesn't affect you in any way.
I feel like I might watch it eventually, especially with, like, everyone going gaga over 1,000 Year Blood War. 'Cause it's like, and I saw some clips on it, and it looked, like, interesting, I guess.
You would need to watch at least, at most, up to the second season, the Soul Society arc, and then you'll kind of understand stuff happening in the 1,000 Year Blood War arc.
I did watch the standalone, like, dragon thing. What was it called? The dragon girls that are, like, in London.
Which
Yeah, Burn the Witch. That was, like, the original OVA was pretty solid on that.
I have issues with Burn the Witch, and we all know those issues. One, it's based in the world of Bleach, but it has nothing to do with the magic system that was established since season 2 with Kaido, and it just bugs me that they use guns instead of swords, and there's
Fucking
random
weeb.
dragons, and it's based in London, and there's just so many issues.
It's-
It breaks the lore.
You hate the British, don't you, Cease?
I hate. Hold on.
You hate everyone.
I hate everyone
Yeah, to be-
equally, but some more equally than others.
I would say, to be fair, they did steal all the spices and don't use it in their food.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was something weird when I was over there, I noticed. Like,
They
just
didn't
in
use spices?
France, too, like, cooks just, like, don't salt things as much as they do over here, which is probably why we're fucking fat, but, like,
Facts.
it tastes
Yeah.
better.
I mean, I think once you kind of like reduce your intake, you slowly start kind of like less dependency on it. But the thing is, it limits what you're eating out and all that. I mean, which I guess isn't necessarily a bad thing. But anywho,
I mean, it was just like, I got, like, a steak, and I was like, this shit needs salt.
just throw in some MSG, no big deal.
Yeah.
But anyways, to Caesar's point about that movie, like completely, like, canon but not canon. I knew that was going to happen, so I didn't say it.
Yeah. I was waiting for it. I remember when he was bitching when it came out.
You don't break the lore. Bleach has good lore.
I don't know.
But
I don't really give a shit about that. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe I would if it was a show I actually cared about.
Okay, see, well, the thing is, when you watch Bleach, they state that the Soul Society, those people, those spirit beings, have been around for about 1,000 years.
Okay.
Just those people that we see in the series at that point have been around for 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
So going to burn the witch completely breaks the lore.
All right, and back to it. There was a bit of an audio blip there. I'll edit this out later. Thanks, Post Sam. You're welcome, Pre Sam.
No one cares, Sam.
Yeah, fuck you, Caesar.
And then all I heard was
All right. Okay.
Finish. All right.
Penis. All right. And on that note, I'll leave the penises in. No one will know what the fuck is going on except for Caesar likes dick.
All I'm hearing is that Sam is leaving penis in. Hmm?
I do. I love dick. I love my dick in particular. It's great. You should see it sometime. If you're 18 or older.
Now,
Starting
Caesar's
now.
OnlyFans.
Caesar's OnlyFans. Free to subscribe, but feet pics are extra. All right. So, all right, back to it. So you've got Gurren Lagann and Bleach.
Yep.
Okay. So number 3.
If I were to go off number 3, I'm trying to leave the two big ones. Well, top 3 is top 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, as much as it's going to hurt Sam's pride, it's gonna be One Piece.
Bullshit. Okay,
Which
it's not gonna
edged
hurt my
out
fucking
Naruto
pride.
with number 3.
It's not gonna hurt my pride.
So-
I mean, like, so for everyone who's a first time listener, which is everyone, this will be a One Piece podcast a lot of the time. Like, we will find a way to talk about it, I'm sure, no matter what the topic is, because Caesar and I are big fans of One Piece. So we love it. Why don't you talk about why you love One Piece?
So, to be frank, as the guy with 3 Naruto tattoos, One Piece has edged out Naruto. The world building of One Piece is just great.
Yeah.
Naruto was good at the start, had good world building, and then towards the end, Masashi just kind of let it go to shit.
I just kind of like gave up sometime during Shippuden, I think. It's just because like I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it's like I didn't like the characters I did like weren't there anymore. Like Gaara got his like Shikaku stolen, and then like Himari and like I don't know, fucking everyone I liked was just like gone. And I think Tsunade was doing something or other, and you know, I need my mommy character.
There was the not Tsuchikage was the old guy. There was the Mizukage, the lava user.
Oh yeah. And Shikamaru, my main man. Just me. Just like I don't feel like being here.
Relatable.
But if you haven't started watching One Piece yet, take it from someone who hated One Piece back during the Golden Age trio. It's just great. It's just a good watch.
So
it's a good read too. The read's way faster than the watch.
Yeah, I think everyone in the fandom agrees that the manga is just better, like a better experience.
It cuts out the fluff. You get right to the point, and I mean, sometimes Oda's paneling can be hard to read, especially on a phone when he draws very, very tiny. But
what, you're saying you don't want to buy an entire bookcase worth of manga?
No, God no. There's like so many chapters.
It's like even if I won the fucking Powerball, I probably still wouldn't buy it.
I mean, I think you can subscribe to Viz Media and you can read it.
Right, but I mean, like reading it like in a book versus on a phone.
True. I mean, I myself like enjoy physical copies of book and manga, but I can understand in the case of like a series like One Piece, I just don't have the space.
Yeah, I feel like that's
the money.
I feel like that's the case for like most manga for me. Like that's I only own a couple volumes, and that's because like I got one of the like really nice like Berserk editions as a gift. So those fuckers are like $45 a piece.
Those are beautiful too.
I know, right? And it's like, oh, I should get more of these, and it's like, look at my bank statement. No, I shouldn't get more of these. No, but as like a fan who came into One Piece like way later, is like, so it's like I tried, like I caught like a couple episodes on Toonami, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool, but I have no idea what the fuck is going on because it was the middle of like Alabasta. I had already missed like 150 episodes, and Toonami's not going to go back. So I waited 10 years, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to try watching One Piece. And then I started it, and I got to Syrup Village, and I gave the fuck up.
Gave up before Nami?
It's Luffy's stuck going up and down the slippery hill for 3 episodes. It's so fucking stupid.
The first 100 episode One Piece is just the prologue.
It's okay. But so I gave up for a couple years, and then we became friends, and you're like, you should watch One Piece again. And I was like, all right. So I powered through it, and as soon as I hit Arlong Park, I'm like, oh, this shit is good. And plus, it was because time had passed, and I was
When did you start watching One Piece? I wanted to watch One Piece when I saw spoilers. I saw Luffy going Gear Fourth against Doflamingo, and I'm like, that's it. I want to watch One Piece because that fight was crazy.
I think I decided to actually start for real during the pandemic because what the fuck else am I gonna do? Just kill 1,000 episodes. So I started probably early 2020, bored out of my fucking skull. And then it was weird because I remember watching even the first couple episodes. I was like, this is way better than I remember. It's the animation is still hand drawn and it's super nostalgic. And I was like,
HD.
Yeah.
Most likely when you saw it.
And it's I was like, I missed this shit. This was so good back in the day. How did I not see this the last time? So it's I still love East Blue now. Arlong Park is still one of my favorite One Piece arcs. And then, using the filler guide helped a lot. So it was I just spent, a year on and off watching. There were a couple arcs where I was like, okay, I need a break. Once I hit Punk Hazard and I was like, fuck this shit, I'm done for a little bit. So I took a 3-week break. But then I caught up when we were at episode 1,000. And now Wano's over and I haven't watched in a while, so I'm behind again. But I'm still caught up with the manga.
I started watching it when it was on, was it 4Kids?
4Kids, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Teenagers,
so
older millennial.
Oh my god, watching the clips of that on YouTube is fucking hilarious just because it's dreaming. Don't give it up, Luffy. Dreaming. Don't give it up, Zoro. But yeah. But you know what's awesome? The voice actor in the original 4Kids dub for Zoro, or Zolo as it was back then, is the same voice actor for Guts from Berserk in the 90s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I paid attention to that.
Yeah, no, it's I listened to a clip and I was like, yo, that's Guts. And it's he's actually pretty good in it. But then, you hear Sanji with his, Brooklyn accent, because 4Kids was obsessed with that. I started rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's on Netflix right now. Oh my god, it's awful, and I love it.
I play one card trap. I play one card face down, and my turn.
It's the game doesn't even make any sense in Duelist Kingdom. They're still figuring out the rules.
Yu-Gi-Oh itself was a spin-off of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, because it was originally a death game manga.
Yeah,
it was all games. That's why Yu-Gi is called King of Games.
Yeah, but it's there is a ton of nostalgia and it's fine. And it's I don't know how old my Valentine is, but that's probably part of the reason I'm into large-chested blonde women. It's my Valentine.
Bandit Keith isn't 12, so I'm sure my Valentine.
He's an actual adult. He's an actual adult with an invisible gun.
But yeah, that's when
he also tries to kill the main characters by trapping them in a cave, which is kind of hilarious in a kids show.
For kids. But yeah, no, I was going back to talking about One Piece. So it's something where I was watching it before, and then once I got older, I kind of just dropped the ball on it. Preferred other shows, and every time I try to go back, it's just, for me personally, I feel there's so much filler, so I prefer to read it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
And
part.
I would say 18 pages a chapter, approximately 18 to 20 pages a chapter is quicker to go through, as opposed to several
1,000 episodes.
Yeah, 1,000 episodes where everyone gets disbanded and rebanded again.
Yeah, that does get annoying.
Several times over.
Though I will say, like, if you've seen it, like, I feel like I'm more likely to go back to it. Like, I put it on as a background show sometimes, and I really like that. Especially, like, because a lot of the episodes I watched subbed, and now I can go back and just listen to them dubbed.
Mhm.
Gross.
Robin's dub voice, though.
I would say, like, it's weird because when listening to it in 4Kids and having like that original audio group or group of voice actors, and fast forward, I listened to it like time skip just to see willy nilly how does it sound. And I thought it was funny because you've got these Funimation voice actors, and I'm just like, why does Usopp sound like Krillin? That throws me off. But side note, one of the reasons why I like the Japanese version is Yamaguchi is the voice actor for Usopp, is also the voice actor of Inuyasha.
Oh,
So-
of course.
Lame.
First.
Spoilers for one of my favorites, but
Hmm.
anyways,
Yeah, well, Luffy's also the voice of Krillin. Dragon Ball Z.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
A lot of overlap there. I think we've talked about One Piece for enough time, though. So, Caesar, you got 2 left, and I'm pretty sure I know what they are.
Imagine 1 and 2 always. It depends on my mood. Am I depressed? Then it's gonna be option 2. Am I happy? Then it's probably gonna be option 1. So option 2 is Code Geass. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's the greatest ending of all anime. Let's scratch what happened in the movie Resurrection of L and
I mean, I'm with you on it has a great ending. Like, it's
all time. Name a better ending.
many, many others. I'll go with Bebop or
When it
like,
when it was still open ended, the ending to Code Geass was good.
it's really good. I like it. It's like my favorite part about that show because like
You don't like Spinzaku? And the whole cat episode?
oh my god.
And the whole tits? All the tits.
All of the tits. It's like I tried rewatching it and there's so much fan service. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't remember any of this.
I do.
Tits, Sam, tits.
Remember that
yes,
episode
we all love
where
tits.
C2 fell into the pizza thing? She was just covered in sauce and dough? Great. Absolutely great.
It's like so I tried rewatching it and like the plot does like suck you in. Like it's really good at that, but the writing is just so shit.
In the
Like-
slice of life parts, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, well, the first half is pretty good, except for the whole like Euphemia bit, because that's just fucking stupid. But
What do you mean? That it was to show that his Geass is getting more powerful.
okay,
It's going out of control.
yes, I get that, but the way they did it was fucking stupid. Oh, I'm gonna joke about you killing everyone.
I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, he was talking to
lol,
his sister.
JK, she's gonna kill everyone. But the second half, like the writing just went off a fucking cliff. It's like Lelouch pulls the entire second half out of his ass.
Yeah, he did that in the first season.
Yeah, but it was
It was
like
out of
less
his ass.
noticeable. Also, Suzaku, just like worst guy ever.
Spinzaku? He's shopping for clothes at the soup store. There's just more soup.
Where did you get those suits? At the toilet store?
I would say their bridge series is top tier, though.
Yeah. Oh, we should do an episode on a bridge series. That would be fun.
Yes, definitely.
How's seeing Dragon Ball Z? So, Team 4 Star?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't Team 4-star now. It's still good.
Rebo is, he's kind of here
He's
and there.
affiliated with.
Yeah, adjacent.
Or I don't know if he still is, but
I don't think so. No.
I don't know if they've all gone their own separate
Did
ways.
you guys get my last 2 options? We then. Did you guess One Piece?
Yes, we
Yep.
guessed
Did
One
you
Piece.
Guess Code Geass.
Yes.
So the last one, I'm guessing Hajime no Ippo.
Of course.
Oh, yes. I was
He's
gonna
the
say.
GOAT. You need to watch Ippo. It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
dubbed.
I know. I'm
It
going
sounds
to.
terrible, but it's there. I've seen Ippo probably the most out of any anime, like 7 times sub, 7 times dub.
All right, fine. I'll watch Ippo.
It's so good.
It's like I'll put it on like probably next week when I'm working from home and I don't feel like working, which is like every
I
day.
will say it is a product of its time. It was made in the 70s. It's a lot of dick jokes, especially
That's great.
And again, it's a product of its time, and it's from Japan, so there's quite a bit of racist undertones to some of the characters.
Love it. I mean, like, well, when they remade Urusei Yatsura, it's just like there's so much like old school '80s dick jokes, and I love it. It's like I missed this childish shit. Oh, they're remaking Ranma One Half.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. All right. So
Also,
yeah,
going back to Ippo,
yep.
he has the biggest dick in all of anime. That's canon.
That's true.
Canon. It is down to his knee. His nickname in the show, they call him Big Dick Ippo.
Biggest dickus. Tripod Ippo.
And they say if fists don't get you.
That's also one of his jokes, is they always give him the Megaton Punch Ippo when he's talking to girls.
And yet he still can't kiss the girl he likes.
Nope. Kumi has been unkissed for like 1,400 chapters.
Well, that's been going on since the 70s.
Yep. That's just, it's longer than One Piece.
All right.
It's been in serialization
Jesus
longer than
Christ.
One Piece.
All right, Angie, you want evens or odds?
We'll go with odds.
Odds. All right, you're up next.
All right.
All right, now this gets interesting because I like got a couple for you, and then I was like, "Fuck, what are the other ones?"
You guys will know my first one.
Boku no Pico.
Yes. How did you know?
Bible Black.
3.
Damn, you guys are on a row. So my first one, obviously, is Inuyasha.
Yep,
Same.
had that one.
You were-
That was like the most obvious one.
Yes, that was the one that was my, teenage, like middle school, high school series that I really, really liked. Before Isekai really, like exploded and
Yeah, that was the whole big thing with Inuyasha, Escaflowne, and a few other ones. What's the other
Would you
big one I'm
consider
forgetting?
Yu Hakusho an isekai? He did die. And went
I'm
to
gonna say
the world.
no.
It was in another world, but it was not his
It's
world.
like, I mean, I think there's a difference between like going to another world and then like dying and going to the spirit world. I don't know. I don't think it fits in the same way.
Gome just went back in time. So it wasn't a different world.
I guess, I don't know. It just feels different.
I would say there was Fushigi Yugi, which is also kind of like another isekai series.
I haven't thought about that series ever.
Yeah, was it Yuaste? Probably pronouncing that name wrong, but just great mangaka. Rumiko Takahashi, I just like a lot of her works. And Meisani Koku, Roman One Half.
Izani Koku, that was some good shit.
And I mean, she's still, popping series. One of the few mangakas that have made several, successful series. And so, I mean, I liked the story writing. It did get repetitive after a while, I will admit. And I feel like
a lot of those long running manga do.
Yeah, and it did kind of fall in the way of some of these Western stories where like the romance kind of overshadowed the actual like adventure story. I know. Side note: My Hero Academia kind of does that too, where like all the Fujoshi, fanatics are.
Like Bakugo doesn't hate Deku; he just wants to fuck him.
And it's like, no, not really. He tried to kill him before they left middle school, But anywho, but yeah, that's just kind of like it's pure nostalgia for me. And overall, I enjoyed this, story writing for its time. But yeah. So that's my first one.
How do you feel about the spin-off, Yasuhime?
I don't really care for it.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
aren't there two dubs of Inuyasha too? I feel like I tried watching it at some point and it was like a shitty old dub.
I mean, I've only been aware of the, original dub.
Was it like Dragon Ball Z where it was like Ocean's 11? I think that was the other studio.
I honestly don't remember. I just remember the audio quality being pretty bad.
I would say the audio was.
Because there's two Gokus. There's Sean Schemmel, which everyone knows is Goku, and then there's the other Goku that was from that Ocean stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. I would say I've always known Richard Ian Cox as being the voice actor for
Cox?
yes, Cox. Being the voice actor for Inuyasha.
Caesar's ears just pricked up.
It's like what? Cox, penis? Penis.
Yes.
Man, I'm gonna have to edit this so much.
Penis.
Just keep the penis in.
Just the tip.
People are just gonna switch off. Alright. So you got Inuyasha. What else?
So I've got Inuyasha. I have this one's a classic for a lot of us. Sailor Moon.
Got it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Magical
Sailor
Girl
Moon has
series.
got the boom that'll make you think the wrong thing. It's
She's also
been
12,
1
so-
week since
She's
looking
14,
Okay.
actually.
She's 14.
She's 14.
A lot
It's
of
the
them.
song. Come
And
on.
the lesbians.
Come on.
The
You
cousins.
guys lived through more of the 90s than I did. You know that song.
We do know that song.
Actually, I don't know the song.
You don't know 1 week? Scrub.
That's where the hipster comes in. But yeah, no, Sailor Moon's just a classic for me. It's one of the first series I watched when I was little.
Same.
And it was one of the few times that my mom could convince me to put on a dress. And she would just be, "You want to dress up like Sailor Moon?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I put on a skirt and like little high heel boots. And I remember one time I actually did my hair. I tried to do like the little bun, like Sailor Moon, and I brushed it out and my hair got frizzy. So my dad said I looked like a poodle. So that was not the best experience. But I would say though, when it comes to the anime, it did have plenty of fillers, in contrast to the manga. And then of course I've watched the, Eek version, or Viacom, I don't remember.
Viacom? With the people that make Ninja Turtle toys?
I don't remember maybe it was Deep, but I think Viz took over publishing. But this is how far back I'm talking about. I think it was Deep, and then Viz took them over. But yeah, I have like the old like English dubbing, and that includes the English censorship. So obviously, we've got Neptune and, and Uranus being cousins instead of lesbian lovers, and then Zoisite and Malachite being a man and woman relationship versus two dudes. So it's just pure nostalgia for me, and I mean it's enjoyable story writing. For its time. A lot of people probably don't like it now because again, Sailor Moon's like 14 and Tuxedo Mask is like what, 18?
I thought he was older than that. I thought he was like a legit like adult. Oh no, that's Card Captor Sakura.
Card Captor Sakura is no.
No, he was her teacher, right?
No, that's Card Captor Sakura. That's a different characters. You are correct. There is a relationship there, but no. Tuxedo Mask was not a teacher. He was a college student.
Okay.
Yeah.
College student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 18. Yeah.
Okay.
So again, nowadays would be problematic.
Oh, you know what's hilarious? Towards the end of Yu Yu Hakusho, Koenma is in disguise and he dresses up as Tuxedo Mask, which is hilarious because Togashi made Yu Yu Hakusho and he's married to the mangaka who made Sailor Moon.
Yes.
Which is like just a cute little like crossover.
Mm-hmm.
You know why she married that man? She likes bummy, scrubby men. That's why she married Tagashi. This is literally her reasoning.
I mean,
I'm not saying I don't believe you. It's just funny.
I see nothing wrong with this. I mean, well, no, my husband's not buddies for me, but hey, everyone's got a preference.
Okay.
But that actually leads into my third, which is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not guess that one, but I do love Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
But I guess I could over with.
Well, it's like I knew you were going to pick probably like one shonen show, and I was like, all right, is it going to be Naruto? Is it going to be like Dragon Ball Z? Like, is she going to be
Full Metal?
Oh, I thought about that one. I went with My Hero.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like you're kind of a basic bitch, which is fine.
That's fine.
But well, I mean, you and Brock love a lot of like Western superheroes, so I thought like that
Yes.
might be on your list.
That would be like an honorable mention for me. a lot. I don't have any modern or current series on my list. But those are honorable mentions. Just because again, my husband is a normie, and transitioning him into certain series, this is one that he can thoroughly enjoy because he himself is a huge, comic book nerd. So
He isn't a cyclist nerd, but he really liked
Chicago.
Yeah.
Which is also really good.
Is it
For
really?
what it is, yeah.
Okay, because I've heard really mixed things about it. I think from both of you, like you've said, I'm like, is
seasons
it
1
worth?
and 2 are good, and then it just falls.
Oh,
Yeah, I would say, and even then, Rockwood kind of lost interest in season 2 because he was like, it's just season 1 all over again.
I feel like sports anime and manga do that a lot.
Yeah, it's just like tournament arc.
Tournament
We just
arc.
finished this tournament arc. What are we gonna do? Another tournament arc.
I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho did that too, though.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the Dark Tournament or whatever.
Well, the Dark Tournament was awesome, and then like Chapter Black was like a different direction that was pretty good, and then like Togashi was setting up like a demon war, and then he just decided that he wanted to end the manga so we could start Hunter x Hunter, which I get. Hunter x Hunter's great, but like then he's like, fuck it, tournament arc. So it's like the demon tournament arc, like, it's kind of mid, but like there's some really cool moments in it. Like Hiei gets some really cool character development, and so does Kurama. Yeah. Yeah, they were easily the best part of that show. Like, Kuwabara is fucking annoying, Yusuke is like lovable gremlin, but like Hiei was fucking cool as a kid.
I will admit, in my early stages of being Fujoshi trash,
Kurama,
and he,
yeah, because he's like,
huge,
oh yeah,
and that was like my introduction. And like you would see fan art, on the internet once you were able to finally connect to it.
Oh, because Kurama's like feminine, whatever.
Okay, so a lot of the times it was like he's feminine looking, but he was still the dominant over Hiei, and Hiei, he comes off with that tough exterior, but he's really a sub, like that was a lot of the dynamic I would see when I was younger, and so you're just here like, oh my god, but
so bottoming before you even knew what bottoming was.
yeah, he is. Sorry.
No, that's Chris.
Dragon of the Butthole Flame.
I mean, that vine whip was being used for something.
Yeah.
Anywho, moving on.
I know. I fucking love Yu Yu Hakusho so much. Like, I rewatch that like at least like maybe once a year or so.
And Kuwabara's just English dub. It always gets me. Like, it's nostalgia.
It's like, yeah, it's so bad.
But I mean, overall, it was a good series, good storyline.
Botan was my first anime crush. I love Botan.
Yeah.
Wrong.
What?
Magician Girl.
For you.
No, for me it was Botan. I watched Yu Yu Hakusho before I even watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Yu Yu Hakusho started like 1998 and Yu-Gi-Oh! Started like early 2000s.
To be fair, when were you born? Like 96?
95. Thank you.
1 year difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Me being an older man, that's 91, and Angie just being ancient. So,
But you're 91 too.
Yeah, but you're older. You're past the prime.
Like 8 months.
I'm still in my springtime of youth, like Guy Sensei would say.
I'm sorry. Do you like wake up with backaches?
Look, we don't talk about backaches. Back drugs.
Old man sees. I used to be a young weeb like you, and then I took an arrow to the back.
I used to rave at anime cons, and now I'm in bed by 10.
Oh, that actually kind of hurts. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so Yu Yu Hakusho is great. It's like that was the first manga volume I ever bought back in like, I don't know, 5th grade, and like, yeah. It was like they had it through that Scholastic program, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And I didn't even realize at first that you had to read it right to left.
Oh, I loved it, especially when that first started becoming a thing. When it's like, hold on there, like you're reading in the wrong direction. And then you'd flip it over to the other side. Oh.
They still have that.
They still
in
do?
modern books.
Okay. I would say, let's see how long it's been since I've had like a physical copy. But
I think, well, the only physical copies I've gotten recently, like, are, of manga. I got the Berserk thing a couple years ago, and I got a copy of the first volume of Free Ren, like, last year.
Yeah. I would say somewhere I gotta double check. I know I have like copies of like Shoujo Beat, so it's like the female equivalent of
Shonen Jump.
Shonen Jump, yeah.
I still have Shonen Jumps.
I have like
physical magazines.
I have like one.
I have like
copy.
one because like it came with like a special Yu-Gi-Oh card that I wanted. I was like, hell yeah!
I won it at like this anime club raffle like years ago. So, but good times.
Alright.
Getting off track.
You got 2 left.
I've got 2 left. So the next one is going to be, it's a classic.
Of course.
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
See, it's the nostalgia.
You had a brother though.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, when I was little, my brother constantly always wanted to play, like Dragon Ball Z. So it's like I had to be Frieza and he had to be Goku and he had to beat me up, like
Where it's like you're at recess and you're like, kids just like yelling at each other, throwing their hands out.
Yeah, so that is exactly what happened.
You go even further beyond.
Yeah. And then, joking around that we're, still charging, and 15 minutes later you're still like,
Yeah.
You
can't attack me, I'm still charging.
Exactly.
No take backsies.
I recently just saw a clip of Goku when he arrived on Namek. Raccoon was charging, he just fucking gutted him. He didn't care. He just showed up, punched him in the gut, and then turned around.
The whole show would have been better if they had just done that. It's like I definitely watched DBZ as a kid on Toonami and like Dragon Ball the original. I remember they played the original Dragon Ball like a lot. Like I remember like the early episodes where like he's in the room without a roof and it's the full moon or whatever, and he's like a monster because of the tail or whatever.
Ozaru.
Yeah, I remember seeing that like a bunch of times on Toonami.
We know.
That's
how you know we're
yeah. It's like, but I tried like going back to it and I just fucking can't. Like I can't.
Other side note, so kind of going back with like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z, like those were some of the few series that I would listen to in Spanish. Like with my cousins and stuff, and like when we went to visit family in Mexico, like
wait, you're Mexican?
What? I just thought you were really Dan.
So you're a weebsicle?
Weebsicle. A weepsicle. But yeah, no, so those were some of my first experiences with dubs outside of English.
Don't they always go like really hard on the Spanish dubs?
No, they're
really
funny, bro.
I would say they're hilarious, but especially when you get like the comic relief, that you typically have like that high pitched voice,
They all do. Yeah. All of them.
Hola.
Yeah, like stuff like that.
Orale.
But yeah, no, Dragon Ball Z. I mean, again, I know it's repetitive and it's kind of memed to hell and back, especially the Bridge series.
Yeah,
but
I love that one.
It's definitely one of those. It's just again top 5 because of nostalgia. It brings good memories. I have a pretty good bond with my brother, and that was kind of like one of the series that him and I could actively watch together and actively talk about it. A lot of these other series, not as much, because he's not a big anime fan, but he loves Dragon Ball Z. So, yeah, that
was the gateway anime before
the big 3 became a thing.
Oh, really? I think the gateway anime is probably still Fullmetal Alchemist. Everyone who watches it loves Fullmetal Alchemist. It was number 1 on Mal for damn near 2 decades.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the gateway anime now, but like when we were kids before it came out, like
It was exactly.
it was Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, it was a Dragon Ball Z. Was, I would say even oddly enough, maybe Pokemon. Just 'cause
Yeah,
everyone was
definitely.
really. That's not on my top
feel
5
like
list.
I
But
feel like with Pokemon though, it was just so everywhere to the point where like I didn't even know it was anime. I just thought it was cartoons.
No one really knew it was anime.
yeah.
But it's like I feel like that was like before, like in the before times in a long, long
And then
ago.
again, it was for kids, so everything was
Yeah,
structured to be more Western, like Brock's Jelly Donuts.
yeah. That always confused
That's
me
my
as a
favorite
kid.
joke out of Pokemon.
I
to
was
this
so
day.
confused. I was like, why do I never get any of those donuts?
Yeah, it's like,
I
It's like, why do I
triangle
never see
donuts.
any of them?
like
It's
what?
like going into Dunkin' as a kid. It's like, where are the triangular ones?
Well, it's like you have the powdered donuts and there's no jelly in it, and then you just
Like,
kind of feel
no.
sad. Or it's Boston cream. You're like,
And you know, considering that it was red, it wasn't even jelly. It was either red bean paste or like tuna
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
in the original.
Yeah.
or pickled plum or something like that.
Probably
But-
pickled plum. I don't
Um,
know. What's your last one?
Oh, so my last one. So it's actually Cardcaptor Sakura.
Lame.
You
I
got
didn't.
that?
It's like I had it and I was like, I put something else and I was like, wait. Card Capture Soccer. It's like I wasn't sure if you're gonna do 2 magical girl shows.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was like,
I was-
no, it's just gonna go with Card Capture.
I was all about magical girls when I was little. Again, that was one of the few times, my mom could get me in a dress,
Yeah. Oh, the one I thought it might have been was Lucky Star.
That
Okay.
one's,
'Cause it's,
I feel like that's more
It's
your
not
thing.
aged well.
well, it's like I thought one of you was a big Lucky Star fan. I thought it was Angie.
So I did learn the dance.
Yeah.
One of my friends and I were planning to cosplay as characters and then do the dance.
Did you ever learn the Haruhi dance?
No.
Because that was such a big thing back then.
I was more focused on the Lucky Star dance more than Haruhi dance. I mean, I knew some of it, but if you were asked me to do it now, probably
No.
not. I mean, granted, I don't think I have the physical capabilities for Lucky Star. Like, I am too obese to do it. I'll get winded just probably by the first 2 moves
Yeah.
and then have to sit down.
I mean, anime dances are still a thing. You've got the one like from Chainsaw Man that's fucking everywhere now on
Yeah.
TikTok and whatever.
Yeah.
From what's that one with the pink purple haired girl? The one you like? Love Delusions and no, it's Chunbyo.
Oh, Chinibyo with like the
Not that one. The other one. The one Sakura something. Love is War. I don't know.
oh
What?
Kaguya-sama. I'm not
Yeah.
big on Kaguya-sama. That's like it's
Isn't that the one you
okay.
like?
I mean, I've seen it.
That's the one with the purple haired girl, right? The one that tried to get them together.
Uh,
You know what I'm talking about?
her hair's. Are you thinking about Chica?
I would say the one who
The Chica dance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like purple.
Yeah, the Chica dance was a big thing
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
while.
yeah.
hmm
It's got pink hair though.
I never saw the anime. I just saw.
It
the
was.
dance.
I mean, like it's. I like it. Like it's decent. I'm not huge on romance most of the time, and even as a romance, I don't think it's that great.
Yeah, true.
I feel like anime in general is just not great for romance, though.
Speaking of romance, though, Cardcaptor
yes.
Sakura, we were talking
Yes,
about.
sorry,
So,
sorry.
Yes, no, because you mentioned it earlier, and I was like, foreshadowing. Yes, there is a series where, like, that has that, and yes, Cardcaptor Sakura is the one where we've got the 5th grader, or was it 4th grader, whatever, and having the relationship with her adult teacher. But I know it was kind of like, I'll wait for you till, you're old enough. But,
Oh, God.
and then in the English version, because they're like, yeah, that might be a little bit problematic. They went with she's shy around men. And, he's one of the few people that she can talk to.
That sounds way better, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, also that could also sound weird, especially nowadays. I'd be like, oh, so he's grooming her. Oh my god,
I mean,
So-
like in the original,
Yeah.
he was though.
Yeah, he was though. Yeah, no. But I mean, like, even now you could probably still get like the subtle grooming concept. But
I guess the subtext is still there no matter what you do.
yeah, but I mean, I too also believe in like the this is one of the few times where like a change in Western was probably for a good was probably a good idea, just because it's like, okay, so she can't she's shy, can't talk to people, and he's, trying to be like that encouraging, inspiring teacher. It's like, you can do it, you can talk to people. So,
Did they do a Card Captor remake?
so they, I don't want to say necessarily it's a remake. It's like a continuation.
Oh, okay.
So like now she's in middle school. She
It's not
is.
bad.
Okay, so they had several versions. There's one where like it's kind of like the current one. It's she is now the master of the cards. So instead of cloud cards, they're called Sakura cards. And again, it's just a continuation where, I mean, they're aged up, but they're not really aged up. And then there's Clamp has just done a bunch of other series too. I like Clamp as a artist group.
You even like the Code Geass designs.
I think they're nice.
I think they worked for the time. I mean, they're like
It's just
super
so
angular
lanky.
now, but like, yeah.
Even the new show, whatever, Lelouch or Code Geass, Rise of Rose, or whatever it was
Rose
called.
of the Resurrection,
Yeah.
Rebellion, one of
Even
those.
they look super angular and lanky.
I mean, I feel like because they're trying to like stick to how it was originally.
Yeah,
Because it's like whenever there's like an art style change, people shit themselves.
I would say, and then there was that other one, like the Tsubasa Chronicles or something.
Oh, yeah.
And that, like, it's them, but it's not them. It's parallel universe them, and I mean, I never really got into that series itself, but the original, I liked that one. I know it's not as exciting as your guys' picks for sure.
No,
But-
it's valid. I mean,
but,
nothing wrong with that.
I mostly went for the hype.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I went for the memory. I would say another honorable mention, though, I will mention. Old school weep here. So some of the series that I might reference are from before you probably were even conceived, Sam. There's one.
Okay. It's a weird way to frame that, but whatever.
Like old, like, but there's an honorable mention that I liked. It actually was only on video, and I think it was only 3 episodes, called Dragon Half. I like the manga
I've
series
heard
for
of that one.
Yeah, that one was kind of funny because the whole point of it is she's half dragon, half human. And she
Now you have my interest.
And we all know you love your lolies and your dragon.
Excuse you, dragons.
I mean, she's also like 16, so no.
Why are there aren't not enough MILF dragons in the world?
Well, her mom's a MILF.
Okay, good.
So,
Good.
I mean, I guess it's relative to what you consider MILF. She's not busty like Mink, but
Ooh.
it definitely has some old school humor of the dad being kind of a pervert to, any pretty girl he sees. But yeah, she's just a half dragon, half human who wants to try to be full human because the guy she's in love with, who's a prince.
Oh, so it's like the Little Mermaid?
Yeah, he's a prince, but he's also a pop star. Bear with me.
This sounds like a trashy like manhwa or something.
It honestly is, and really what it is he's also a dragon slayer who doesn't, or no, he's hates dragons or despises dragons or whatever because they supposedly killed his family, and so she's
This
like,
just shows how a bunch of shoujo writing has not changed at all.
yeah, really, it hasn't, and she's on a quest to find, to obtain something in order to turn her full human.
Okay, so it was like a 3-episode OVA?
Yeah, and in fact it was open-ended, but the manga, there's a completed series of the manga.
Is it on Crunchyroll? I might have to look this up.
You might have to, I would say...
I don't know, I'll do it later when I'm editing.
Yeah, I would say just Dragon Half is the name of the series. I mean, I thought it was funny. Again, it's of its time, so some of the humor might be a little...
I don't think anyone who has gotten this far into this recording would really care about that.
Fair enough. But anyone listening, I don't know. I'm just...
If you want something weird, Sam, that I know is on Crunchyroll.
Yeah?
I believe I saw it on Crunchyroll. If not, it's on Hulu. It's called Club Angel Dokoro-chan.
Oh, is she the one that just like a magical girl that just like beats the shit out
Yes,
of the.
yes.
I love that one. Yeah, I need to rewatch that. I watched it in
It's
college.
super
and,
short. It's like 6 episodes.
Yeah, I watched it in college. I need to watch it again.
Yeah, I was like, you're the one who I think told me about that series.
It's such a like.
It's just like her solution is just beat the shit out of everything, and I love it.
Choose violence.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point of her coming down from heaven to beat this man was to kill him. Because he essentially created a drug that made women stop aging, so they were all lolies.
Ew.
And it destroyed the future of humanity because they couldn't.
Why not
have
keep them
children.
all like 35? Like,
the-
you know,
The drug was to keep women young, not because he wanted to keep them young.
30,
It was just what
35.
happened.
It's good. Like,
And so she came down to heaven and always beat this man because that was her mission, was to kill this guy.
that's so great. I don't remember like any of it. I just remember her beating the shit out of people.
And then I know you recently pulled up that manga. You pulled up the manga from way back in the day, where the freaking devil was trapped in some guy's balls.
Oh yeah.
When you that, it brought back so many memories because I read that manga when I still
The
read
devil
manga.
in your balls.
Okay, so that leads to the question I have with that series was, could you easily just solve it by, swallowing? I'm just saying. Like, could you defeat the, easily, defeat the queen if you just
I
swallow?
believe one of the devils or lackeys of the demon in his balls tried to suck him off and sacrifice herself for it, but in the end, the whole point is to not. Yeah.
It's like
I mean,
the
yeah,
point
to
of
not
like
get
every
killed.
ecchi manga is to like get as close to sex as possible without actually doing it, because then it comes hentai.
Oh, well, yeah, I know. I know that.
And that one is borderline. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's right there in the end.
I guess unless, well, I mean, they push it a little more sometimes now with like, Ishizoka reviewers where there's like actual sex. Though, like in the manga, it's not really there, but in the anime, it sure as hell is.
Quality,
Well, I mean, it's there, but they don't show most of it. I don't know.
I know, it's the implications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The very explicit implications. All right. And on that note, I guess we're at my list. So no order in particular, but I feel like I should start with the most obvious one. You both probably know it. It's the classic Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was easy.
Fucking Bebop. Yeah, I figure like I'll start there because like, you both know it, and then I'll get to like the ones you might not guess. So, I guess the reason I love Bebop is it's everything I love in an anime, like rolled into one. Like you get the weird mix of genres from like sci-fi, crime, western, noir, weird, a little bit of like samurai, It's just weird, and it's kind of like singular, but it's also like slow and like melancholy and atmospheric, and it's like the characters are like subtle and really well developed
And all adults.
and all adults. Well, Ed's not an adult,
Mostly.
but like all the characters are adults. Ed is a kid and acts like a kid, but everyone else is like mature and they have like real problems, and they, try and fail most of the time to solve them.
Yeah.
And music and the animation are fucking awesome.
Yeah, the music I would say is probably
Yeah.
like
The opening's a banger. Always
oh,
have been.
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
And oh yep, AC just kicking on. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I love Bebop. The movie is great. I rewatch the series pretty frequently, like probably once a year. And yep. And the live action was dog shit. I'm sure we'll talk about that at some point when we talk about the new season of One Piece. Eventually, we'll talk about the rest of the live action adaptations.
Kumar? Wait, Harold. Harold was.
Yeah, it was Harold. Yeah, no, it's just like, I mean, I feel like 20 years ago would have been fine, but he's like 50. And it's like Spike is supposed to be like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Like he's a young hotshot with problems. And like Jet's supposed to be like this grizzled veteran. And it's like Spike was older than Jet. It was just like that dynamic didn't really work. I mean, the actor they got for Jet was pretty good. Like he was the best part of that show.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people said that,
yeah.
review wise.
I think just briefly, like what went wrong the most with the Netflix adaptation was they just didn't care about like the way the show was supposed to be almost. Like the attitude of Bebop, like it's sad and like depressing and there are just like happier fun moments in it. And they're like, no, we want off-brand Guardians of the Galaxy so we can sell that and create a new IP.
Yeah, I did.
And it's just like, no, that's not what Bebop is. And it really, like, the show has something to say about, like, not just, like, these characters and their problems, but society, too, because it's like, they're bounty hunters, they're broke, like, society has cast them out, capitalism is way past its end stage, and everyone's kind of fucked. Like, the gate exploded because they were being, like, really risky with space technology and it ruined the atmosphere on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people live underground on Earth because it's constantly raining meteors. So it's like, oh, look, a pro-environmental, like, message on, I mean, like, you'll find that every once in a while in anime. I mean, Miyazaki's big on it.
Yes,
but
very much so.
I think in a post-nuclear society that they have, it's much more pronounced than it is over here. But also, like, Bebop is inspired a lot by Blade Runner, which is one of my favorite movies, so of course I love Bebop. But I could talk about that for hours, so I'll just be done with it for now.
I guess the second one. Going off of that, getting off of that option.
Yeah, go for it, guess.
I'm thinking Black Lagoon's in there.
Yeah! You got it. Fucking love Black Lagoon for a lot of the same reasons I love Bebop, actually.
Which is why I'm like, it's
I mean, like,
on my list.
It's more action and dark comedy focused, and obviously it's like Tarantino made like an anime. I think it's like, I mean, it used to be like a go-to classic when we were younger, and now it's kind of been forgotten, which is really sad just because of how good it is. Like, Michaela, my girlfriend, like, I'm showing it to her because, like, she's never seen it, obviously, and she's really enjoying it. And, like, rewatching it this most recent time, it's really, like, striking me, like, how, like, in-depth the characterization is, especially with Revy and Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their interactions, there's so much subtext going on. Like, the way their relationship develops over the course of it, and how, like, there's so much that, like, if you're really paying attention, you can just find a lot more detail. And you're like, oh, this is so great. And then it just fucking ends. And it's just like, no. I mean, I think the manga is technically still ongoing, but it's on, like, indefinite hiatus. Like, every few years, like, a chapter will come out.
Yeah, and that's one of the sad things about reading manga. Sometimes I feel for me, like, I mean, a lot of anime I'll watch tends to be like one season or maybe two, and you just get those 10 episodes or 12 episodes or whatever, and then that's it. But then when it comes to the manga, you get some series that are in an indefinite hiatus. It's like, I want to know more. Like, Nana is a series that I really liked when I was younger.
Oh my god, yeah, that's another good one.
And then it just got really sad, and then it was just kind of open-ended, and then I'm like, no.
Yep.
But I mean, some of this isn't, like the mangaka's fault. A lot of it's the publishing company, where they're just like, yep, these aren't really hitting sales. Move on to something else.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a series that I'm thinking about having, Rock watch with me, my husband. I
bet Michaela would like it too. I should rewatch it with her.
Yeah. Just no, but they're your series. But
anywho.
But yeah. Anyways, move. Your third one.
Yeah. Let's see. So, we kind of like if we're putting them in order, this probably would have been my number 2, and I don't think either of you would guess this one. Monogatari.
No,
No.
not the toothpaste one.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the toothbrush one. Well, okay, so Monogatari is like such a hard recommend to other people unless you're like into anime, because like
Let me jump in. I tried to watch all of the Guitari series on Crunchyroll back when, they were still popular.
mhm.
And every time I try to watch it, the stream would crash. So I just never watched it.
That's
'Cause
the
I
universe.
just could not
That's the
see
universe
it.
telling you not to, bro. I don't know if you would like it. Angie, you probably would, I feel like.
Uh, yeah, probably.
Well, okay, so let me just so this series has a reputation, obviously, for a lot of fan service, but
All right, you sold me.
big butt. Well, big butts. But
You also sold me again.
so it's actually one of the best written anime ever. So it's like they're like really awesome characters. It's a supernatural mystery, and this dude is like helping out these girls with their like supernatural problems. But like the writing is really well written, like awesome dialogue. And like it's funny, it's like emotional, and there's a lot of like symbolism, foreshadowing. It's like the this is so deep kind of anime.
Yeah, that would be something.
But
you'd be
also
into.
like yeah, it is, but like the animation is also like super cool because like Shaft does this whole like avant-garde kind of style where it's like, it's really hard to explain without like showing it, but it's sort of surreal and like minimalistic, but very like colorful and like, it it started in 2009, and if you watch it, it looks like still looks great, looks current, like a lot of series were influenced by it, and it's just a really good show. And also the waifus are great. There's a big titty blonde vampire.
So tell us the real reason why you like it, Sam.
But I mean, if we're talking fan service, a lot of it like actually has a point. Like, on Kill la Kill, like the fan service has a point, like it's part of the story.
Yeah.
Like there's a real reason for a lot of it in Monogatari.
Caesar doesn't believe it, but okay, continue. Go on.
There's a point in Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like clothes are literally the enemy. It's the joke. That's the joke.
Yes.
But
It's not like Fire Force where the
no,
guy just gets
no.
fucking harassed every 3 seconds.
No, that's like the main reason Fire Force isn't like a good show and is only like an okay
It's
show
not
is
a
because
good show to begin with. The pacing is terrible.
I mean the pacing's bad, but there are good parts in it.
I will say though, the manga does a good job at kind of using fire, like the fire element in variety of ways.
Yeah.
So, he gets kind of creative without necessarily going the Avatar route with all elements. He's just using fire.
Right.
So-
And like the fights like are animated really well because it's David Productions, the guys who did JoJo, used to be Shaft. But
And I don't mean it necessarily just like the anime, but like in the manga as well, Jacob. Because
I couldn't get into Fire Force.
well, yeah, but you also hate that author because you hate Soul Eater.
Oh yeah, Soul Eater's ass too.
I mean, like, yeah, but like, no, okay. So I heard something, forever ago about Fire Force, and it was like he wasn't originally gonna have Tamaki have that like fan service thing, except like he was talking to the mangaka for Fairy Tail.
Of course.
And that mangaka was like, "Oh, I really like that character. You should do more fan service of her." And then it was like, "No, please don't." And then he did. It's just like, no, it could have been so much better without it.
Yeah, that's not
Besides,
advice.
Tamaki is nowhere near as hot as like the muscle girl. Like she's the best. Fit girls, man.
Yeah, but she wouldn't get harassed because she's a muscle girl.
Yeah, but that's what makes her
Bad.
great.
I mean,
Like
some
you've
guys
got
want you
Maki
to-
and Hibana, and it's like who the fuck would want to do anything with Tamaki?
Also, some men want muscle mommies to fight them. Hard.
Exactly.
And chokeholds.
Mhm. Anyway, So yeah, no, Fire Force is nowhere near my list. It's like I watched it. It was all right. I don't feel the need to rewatch it. So we got for me Bebop, Monogatari, and Black Lagoon. So I got 2 left.
One Piece.
Nope.
Really?
No, One Piece would probably make my top 10, but not my top 5. It's like I like it, but like we said, the manga's better, and like yeah, it's also like a relatively like recent thing for me, even though I do love it. Um, but yeah, I went back and forth a lot on these other two because they're like a bunch. So I was like, oh, it could be this one, could be that one, could be that one. So I went with Psychopaths. Do you guys ever watch that one?
Okay.
Yeah, love that one. Like, I mean, I'm big into sci-fi, and it's like the world and the writing and the characters are all awesome. Like, I mean, it's like overtly philosophical and smart, which I love. And it's like, also, you're using these guns to turn people into paste. Like, come on. But yeah, I think Makishima is one of the best villains in anime. Like, he's so well written and like so mad that like the other seasons are not as good. Like the movie was okay, the other seasons just don't live up to it. But that was because Gen Urobuchi is the guy who wrote Madoka Magica and Fate Zero and like fucking bangers, right? And then he wrote Psychopaths and he's like, I only want to do like one complete series. And that's like it ends perfectly. Like it's one of those endings where it's like you kind of start where you end where you started, but you learned a lot along the way and like a lot of shit happened. And it's like open ended, but it's a great ending. And then they're like, oh, this was really successful. Let's keep going. And he's like, no. So they just did it on their own and they like massive missed opportunity.
Same thing happened to Darker Than Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Darker Than Black. I've been wanting to rewatch it, but it's like it's not available to stream legally anywhere, and I haven't felt like pirating lately.
Not lately, at least.
Yeah. So I was thinking about buying the Blu-ray, but it's expensive.
For a good reason, though.
Yeah, it's such a good show. Heine's Electric Batman. But I mean, like, that's another one where it's like, you know, it's dark and depressing and violent, but like really well written, and like, you know, I love that shit.
Speaking of, Batman, when I was younger watching Big O, for me, I felt like that was very much just like mega Batman.
Yeah, I never got into it. So. It's like if I wanted to watch Batman, I would watch the animated series or Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yes, both. Speaking of great writing, Batman animated series.
Yeah.
But no, so I mean, those are some pretty good ones so far. I'll be honest, I was expecting a lot more Moe series for you,
We didn't get to my last one.
which I think I know
You know-
who it is. Maid-sama.
No, oh, Dragon Maid.
Yes.
Maid-sama's different.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Dragon.
Dragon Maid. Yeah, or otherwise just Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Yes.
Well, okay, so I love the violent, realistic, depressing shit, obviously.
Yes.
But then, like, you gotta, like, balance it out somehow, you know? Well, okay, so what happened was, like, I was living abroad for a while, and I was, like, depressed and lonely, and then, like, I saw Dragon Maid, and I was like, this shit is great.
And it's like, I'm all about deep and
Well, okay, so, like,
sci-fi and
Dragon Maid is, like, cute and, like, moe, but it's also, like...
lesbians.
Well, lesbians, yeah, but, like...
Lolis. Don't forget the Lolis.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, so, like, okay, yeah, this is a problem. This is an anime that I love that I also have problems with. But, so the character writing, particularly between Kobayashi and Toru, the main two.
Yeah.
Toru is the dragon. Kobayashi is the office worker who's like, being worked to death and like super misanthropic and kind of an alcoholic. And then they like come together and they like make each other's lives better. And it's like super wholesome, but it's also, I mean, the character writing is really good. The animation, it's Kyoto animation, which is great, Like one of the best fight scenes is in Dragon Maid. Like it's so great. It's like a parody of Dragon Ball Z. It's hilarious. It's just like they're just fucking around, and it's like then out of nowhere, Kyoto Animation is just like majorly flexing their muscles because they're so good. But they
That's what I
normally
did.
focus on like character animation, and it's like it's super detailed and good, but they just don't do fights that often. But yeah, I love Dragon Maid. Toru is like one of my like top favorite like waifu characters.
Yeah,
Um,
I was expecting a K-On or something like that, but
I do like K-On! I'm not one of those people who like loves it because like some people really like it's like my youth, and it's like no, I don't give a fuck. I just like
yeah, there's some people like that with Lucky Star too, which is like another Moe series where it's like, oh my
I feel like it's with a lot of like Moe high school series, people are like, they're romanticizing like a time in high school that they didn't have.
yeah,
But it's like Toru and Kobayashi are adults, and that's also something that I really like. Like Kobayashi is a working adult, and I can empathize with that.
yeah, it's relatable.
Yeah.
You know, who hasn't been worked to death and
Yeah.
possibly having a drinking problem?
And also, who wouldn't love to be cuddled by a cute blonde dragon waifu?
Roll Dragon.
No, Toru is not a lowly.
He's telling you that he
She's
wants
got the big
lowly
titties.
dragon.
Look, I've been to enough anime conventions where everyone dresses a fucking lowly dragon, okay? Everyone.
Mostly
okay,
men.
so
That's
like
all I know about the show is the lowly dragon.
it's like, yeah, I do have an issue with that. It's like I'm obviously not into that sort of thing, and it kind of bothers me that they have it. And it's like the rest of the show is really good, but it's like when you take away that thing, like Hana is the younger dragon, and she's like a daughter to Kobayashi, and that's like actually a really good like exploration of found family and like what parents mean to a kid and how to deal with that sort of thing as an adult who's not ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's a lot of really good stuff in that show, and you got to take the good with the bad, or maybe I guess you don't have to. You could just like a lot of people just ignore it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Or like they choose not to watch it. I wouldn't blame anyone if they didn't.
I mean, think about it. A lot of the series that I like on my list, would definitely not fly.
Yeah.
In current days.
Yep.
Even my honorable mention, again, Dad's a misogynist and
And a pervert.
and
Yeah.
a pervert, and even to his own daughter. So
Yeah.
it's for laughs. Back in the days it would be for laughs. Nowadays it would be like, that's kind of fucking weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all have those.
I think for Dragon Maid in particular, like it was the show that got me into moe anime, where it was like I was just like constantly watching dark, depressing shit. And I was like, you know what? There's some other stuff that I like, and it just holds a special place in my heart because of where I was in my life at the time. And it's like I want to kind of round out the list because like the other one that I considered putting in was Berserk, obviously.
I thought that was going to take over your.
Yeah, I mean, only like 1 or 2 seasons of the anime.
Yeah,
And then the
so
CGI thing just.
Yeah.
So it's like the 97 anime is so fucking good. Like, I mean, the animation is limited because they didn't have a ton of money, but like a lot of the art's pretty good, and like the story is just so great.
Yeah, and then the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I reference manga a lot because that's kind of my format. That I really enjoy it. But I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, like Mira, rest in peace, but like no one can touch him. Like, I mean, Murata, who does One Punch Man right now, can like get kind of close, but like Mira is just like kind of one of a kind.
Yeah. And then in that, context of like, mangakas who have really amazing artwork, Junji Ito for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm still waiting on that Uzumaki adaptation.
See, I'm not too crazy about like, any like this.
So like, I was like really, I was like, about the adaptation, like, wary of it. But, so Production IG, the studio that did Psycho-Pass, is the one that picked it up.
Okay.
And the director of Aku no Hana, Flowers of Evil.
Oh, God,
okay.
My. The CGI one?
Yeah. No. Okay, so the thing about Flowers of Evil, it's like the story is fucked up and weird, and they wanted the animation to match that.
Animation's bad.
No,
Like
it was
CGI.
just Well, you don't like CGI.
I'm a purist.
Okay, whatever. So like, but he also did Aka 13 Territory Inspection Department was Madhouse anime. I don't know if you saw that one. That one's pretty solid. It's like a political drama. You might like it.
Okay.
But so that director, so like he's really solid. The studio's solid, and they're doing it in black and white.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, and they released like a preview like 2-3 years ago now. It looks pretty good. And it's just like it's been on indefinite like production hiatus since like I don't know, a year or two ago. Like it was originally supposed to come out in 2022, I think. I was like, no, I was looking forward to that because I love Uzumaki. It's one of my favorite manga.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, like I don't know, just when the other series, for Junji Ito came out in anime, I just it
The collection.
the collection, yeah, it just
Yeah.
took away from all of the detail and work that he did, and I felt like it wasn't good.
I couldn't even get through one episode.
Yeah, I forced myself to go watch it all, and I was like, this is just bad, and like this is awful, like. But he's one of those mangaka who would he can spend 9 hours on a page, and I would not be mad because it would come out fantastic.
Yeah. Agreed.
My list, a lot of it was anime specific. But I would say my 5 list would probably be different if we were talking about
Manga.
Manga.
Well, I think we
that
could-
would be
Yeah, way
manga.
different.
You know
Yeah.
my manga taste is not my
Yeah.
anime taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I feel like we could probably do another episode, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That was like, one for manga, and we could do one for actually anime movies would be a fun one to do too.
Oh jeez, yeah.
Well, I mean, like,
Live actions.
Maybe
I've
like
seen a lot of live action.
I would say maybe we should
no, I
do
was just
live
saying
action.
like animated movies, like Ghibli or like other ones. I mean, obviously, like we could talk about stuff other than Ghibli, like Akira is one of my favorite movies.
I feel like a lot of people like Akira, but
Yeah. Well, of course I like Akira. It's dark sci-fi.
yeah, go figure. No,
Yeah.
I mean I think is a common one too that like non anime lovers would watch. So like normies.
Like Kanye West. That's his favorite anime.
What?
But then,
Yeah. it
Wait,
is.
what
Kanye
is?
West is Akira's his favorite anime.
Yeah.
He dressed up as Akira in Stronger.
That's
The
so.
the whole music video. of
How do I
Stronger
not remember
is
this?
basically 1-for-1 Akira.
How do I not remember that? I need to go back. What?
You can look it up on YouTube. Like, it's a
What?
1-by-1 comparison.
Okay, I guess I have homework now. Jesus.
I
I
just-
yeah,
yeah,
you
well,
would have known that.
I was
I mean, maybe I did at one point and I just totally forgot. I mean, like South Park references Akira. Like everyone references
Everything
Akira.
Well, yes.
references Akira.
Well, I mean,
the
like,
slide is iconic.
the slide is
in
iconic.
everything.
Well, I mean, South Park did the like the assimilating thing, like that he does at the end, just super fucked up and scary, and I love it. But yeah, so those are all of our vague top 5s and kind of an intro to our tastes. And soon we'll have other videos where we're like more focused on things. Like I'm sure we'll have a whole One Piece episode. Tune in for that.
That's
And
waifu.
best wife.
One
I mean, we
Well,
could.
that too.
Well,
I
yeah.
meant specifically in One Piece.
Specifically.
There's a million characters in One Piece.
Yes. And it's Robin,
It's
obviously.
Vivi. Come on. It's Vivi.
It's obviously Robin.
No, it's Vivi.
All right, we're gonna get
No,
nowhere with
Zoro.
this. I'm turning it
No,
off.
It's
Zoro.
Kid Nami from the